All right, strap in everybody, because today we're diving headfirst into a true rock and roll legend, Led Zeppelin's Stairway to
A
Heaven.
classic.
I mean, who hasn't belted this one out at least once, right? But we're going way beyond those iconic guitar riffs, folks, because um, you sent me this stack of articles, and they're all about the lyrics, which
Yeah.
tells me you're as fascinated by this song as the rest of the world
Oh,
is.
without a doubt. Stairway, it's like this lyrical puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Full of these really evocative symbols and metaphors, and it just seems like everyone's got their own interpretation. I think that's a big part of why people are still so drawn to it.
Okay, so like right off the bat, you get hit with lines about this lady who's convinced that all that glitters is gold.
Right.
And she's out there buying a stairway to heaven.
Yeah.
But then, wait a minute, is there like an inscription on a wall or not? I mean, what's going on? What are your thoughts on those first few verses? What do they tell us?
Well, you're immediately thrust into this world of contradictions, right? Well, you said you've got materialism versus this search for something spiritual.
Right.
This clash between illusion and reality. I don't think Zeppelin's trying to give us, the listeners, like a straight answer or anything. They're presenting us with these vivid images, and it's up to us to draw our own meaning.
And that makes me think, for a song written back in the 70s, maybe that's exactly why it still hits so hard today. Because it's not telling you what to think. It's more like it's asking you. Okay, but I gotta ask, and maybe this is just me, but that whole bustle in your hedgerow line, I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever quite grasped that one.
Well, isn't that part of what makes it so compelling? I mean, there's no one right answer, and I think that's intentional. It's like Zeppelin wrote it specifically so you, me, everyone listening, can sort of project our own experiences onto it.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so when you hear bustle in your hedgerow, what comes to mind for you?
Okay, well, that makes me think about all the background you sent over on that lawsuit. The plagiarism accusations.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because reading that, it made me wonder, because it's not every day that a song this monumental, this huge, ends up in court over a riff.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really good point.
So does knowing about all that, about the legal battles and the accusations, does it change how you hear those lines?
Definitely. Whether you side with the accusations or not, that whole thing adds this whole other dimension to this song's story. Makes you really think about where inspiration comes from, how we determine originality, especially in the world of art, where, influences are always flying around.
It does. And maybe that explains why it still resonates so strongly, even with, all that legal stuff surrounding it. I mean, it's like the controversy almost adds another layer of meaning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it begs the question, right? In a world that's just flooded with these fleeting trends, with instant gratification, why is it that this 8-minute long, epic, sometimes cryptic song, why does it continue to resonate with us after all this time? I think it really speaks to something deep within us, this human need to find meaning, not just through music, but life itself, right?
Yeah.
To find something that speaks to us on a personal level and makes us think, and that's what Stairway does.
It really does. Well, there you have it, folks.